little late start here. We got a good swathing done and had to stop and refuel, and after that we had a problem with our transmission line here. So I talked about the last video. I broke down, see, we had these steel lines like this that run to your hydrostat, your final drive, whatever you want to call it. We just went and had these hoses made. It was cheaper than buying one steel line from New Holland. You can see what happened is there's supposed to be a bracket there, and it fell off, lost the nut or something, so these lines could vibrate, which caused the crack in the weak spots, which is the bend. So we just put these hoses on. Well, after we did that, it pretty much drained the transmission fluid tank, hydraulic fluid, and we think that put some junk through our filter. So changing filters, and gonna fill her up and get her serviced and get to farming.
I won't say a word, I'll just grin. Make you tell me what you want to be. She said she wants a bad boy, it's only good for her. Man,
hate these gas tanks. Sold my fuel trailer earlier in the year. Now I wish I had it back. I never used it. Now this year I've been using these, happen to fill up 10 gallon at a time like this. This transmission oil here. Chance of rain tonight, but if we make it through tonight, we should be in the clear for what we're about to swath. If it gets rained on tonight, it won't be as big of a deal as stuff that could bail here soon. Alright, moment of truth here. I really need to wash windows and do a bunch of stuff to this thing, but I don't have that many acres to do, so if it would just run, that'd be great. The problems that we keep having with this swather is, whether it's we didn't winterize it very good or something, we keep having to put fuel filters on it, and I think it's because the tank is so old and corroded that every once in a while a piece of junk goes through the fuel system and you have to get out and reprime it, drain the water separator, drain the fuel filter, and try and get it going again. Yesterday we put a new fuel filter on it in the morning, no problems all day long. The other problem we had, and the reason I was broke down over the winter, was that hose that I showed you under the swather. And yesterday I stopped to fuel the machine, shut it off, and when I turned it back on, I was having problems. I was getting warnings and it wouldn't let me turn my header on. And I'm hoping it's because when that line blew, it drained the transmission fluid tank, hydraulic oil, whatever you want to call it. And I didn't put a new fuel filter, a new hydraulic filter on it at that point in time. I just put the new lines on, filled it up with hydraulic oil, and went. And so hopefully all it is a piece of junk went through the line and a new filter fixes it. If not, today could be a long day. We'll see what it says. Alright, that's good. All of those lights went off. See what happens when we fire up the header. So far, so good. Just finished this field yesterday evening, and all we had to do was this field back behind it, and we'd have been done. But then we had our little minor issue. It takes me about 3 days in this swather, just me by myself and this machine, to get down all of our alfalfa acres. Well, it's taken me a little bit longer this go around because I spent one whole day putting down feed and grass. Whoa! Feed and grass. And then I got some of our alfalfa acres done. Started the next day, which would have been day 2.5 on alfalfa, and broke the swather. So then we had a 3-day gap in there. 2-day gap. And now we're just now getting finished up. So what we've got now is we're getting ready to bale what I first laid down while still putting down the next cutting, which might actually work out if it doesn't rain. And even if it does rain, at least maybe we're staggered out enough. We'll get some hay put up right and some hay put up mediocre. But here we go. We're gonna swath some grass here, getting to this backfield. I made it through this the other day. But this is the only way to get back to the field, so let's see if we can't get through it.